Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we like to blend casual conversations with some pretty insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets. Today we're diving deep into a whole pool of recent tech news. Some exciting breakthroughs, maybe some head-scratching moments. You know how it goes.
It's always something.
It always is, yeah.
Mhm.
We've got scoops on Apple's big software shakeup. We'll peek into the world of AI a little bit and even sprinkle in a dash of space exploration.
Sounds like a fun mix.
Yeah, it'll be a wild ride.
Looking forward to it.
All right, so first up, Apple. Apparently, they're planning a massive redesign for iPhones, iPads, and Macs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mark Gurman, the guy who always seems to know what Apple's cooking up before anyone else.
Yeah.
He's calling this one of the most dramatic overhauls in Apple's history.
That's a pretty bold statement coming from him.
It is. I mean, he's usually pretty spot on.
Like, he's got a good track record.
He does. Okay, so what's fascinating is how this redesign might, tie into Apple's recent stock dip. And, analysts are lowering their iPhone sales growth forecasts. It seems like they're really trying to reinvigorate excitement and sales with a fresh new look, and they're aiming for this visual consistency across their platforms, which basically means making the experience of using your iPhone, your iPad, and your Mac feel more unified.
So instead of each device feeling like its own separate thing, it'll be more like one big Apple experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, instead of each device feeling like its own separate island, it'll be like one big happy Apple archipelago.
I like that, an Apple archipelago, right?
But okay, here's the thing. How does this play into Siri's struggles? Because I read that Apple's Smart Home Hub, which was supposed to compete with Amazon's Echo Show and Google's Nest Hub, that's been delayed because Siri isn't, quote-unquote, smart enough yet.
Ouch. Yeah, that's been a bit of a stumbling block for them. I mean, even Citi analysts, they specifically called out Siri and Apple Intelligence as not being quite where they need to be.
Yeah, that's got to sting a little bit.
It does make you wonder about their whole AI strategy, though. I mean, on one hand, they're pouring a massive $500 billion into AI over the next 4 years.
It's a lot of money.
It's a huge investment. And they just brought in Kim Borath. She's a real software whiz. She played a key role in the Vision Pro to lead the AI team. But then on the other hand, it seems like they're playing catch up in some areas.
Yeah, it's interesting that they're partnering with ChatGPT instead of trying to build their own super smart AI from scratch.
Right. It's a different approach than what we've seen from Google, that's for sure.
And considering how Google's AI chatbot kind of fumbled a bit last year, maybe Apple is learning from their mistakes.
Yeah, maybe they're thinking, let's not rush this.
Let's take our time. Let's do it right.
Exactly. It's almost like they're hedging their bets a little, letting ChatGPT do the heavy lifting for now while they focus on integrating it seamlessly into their ecosystem.
Makes sense.
It does make you wonder, though, could this lead to a future showdown, between Apple and maybe even a collaboration between OpenAI and Jony Ive down the line?
Oh, no, that would be a battle of the tech titans.
Right.
Okay, but before we get too lost in speculation, let's zoom out a little bit and look at some other AI developments that are happening beyond just Apple.
Sounds good.
So OpenAI just struck a massive $11.9 billion deal with this company called CoreWeave, and it's to fuel their AI ambitions.
Wow, that's a huge deal.
It's enormous, yeah. And they're getting a stake in CoreWeave before it even goes public.
Oh, wow. So they're really going all in.
They are. This deal highlights just how critical companies like CoreWeave are in the AI landscape. They're essentially the backbone of AI development, right? They provide a heavy-duty computing power that's needed for all these AI systems to actually function.
So if AI is the brain, CoreWeave is like the power grid keeping the lights on.
Exactly. They provide these specialized cloud services that are packed with GPUs, which are like super-powered processors that are perfect for handling the massive amounts of data that AI needs to crunch and process. So this deal gives OpenAI access to even more of that horsepower, and it's going to allow them to train bigger, more sophisticated AI models.
It's like giving them a supercharge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so more power to AI, literally, but with great power comes great responsibility, right?
Always.
And that brings us to a somewhat unsettling report from Consumer Reports. They found that a lot of these AI voice cloning tools out there, they just lack basic safeguards.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Out of the 6 leading tools that they tested, 5 of them were easily bypassed. So that means, anyone with the right software could essentially clone your voice.
That is unsettling. I mean, imagine the potential for scams, for spreading misinformation with deep fakes, even impersonating loved ones to manipulate people.
It's scary stuff. It's a reminder that we need to be thinking about the ethical implications of this tech
Yeah.
as it evolves.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like we're on the edge of a technological Wild West right now.
Yes.
So much potential, but also a lot of room for things to go really wrong.
It's a double-edged sword, for sure.
Yeah.
And as AI becomes more powerful and more integrated into our lives, those ethical considerations are just going to become even more important. We need to have robust regulations and guidelines in place to prevent misuse and make sure that this tech is actually used for good.
Yeah, we need those guardrails.
We do.
All right, so before we spiral into an existential crisis here, let's shift gears for a minute and talk about some other notable tech happenings.
Okay, sure.
So Waymo, the self-driving car company,
Yeah.
they're expanding their robotaxi service into Silicon Valley.
Wow.
Yeah. They're now operating in Los Altos, Palo Alto, Mountain View, and parts of Sunnyvale. So
Yeah.
if you're in the area and you're feeling adventurous, you might be able to hail a ride from a robot chauffeur.
That's amazing. It's really becoming a reality.
It is. Speaking of things that used to sound like science fiction, General Fusion just announced a major breakthrough in their quest for nuclear fusion.
No way.
Yes, they successfully created plasma inside their prototype reactor, which is a huge step towards achieving sustainable fusion power.
That's incredibly exciting. Fusion has the potential to completely revolutionize our world. Clean, virtually limitless energy. It's amazing.
It's mind-blowing. It's like, imagine a world powered by the same process that fuels the sun. General Fusion's success is definitely adding fuel to this current nuclear race.
Oh, yeah, it's heating up.
It's really heating up. All these countries and companies are racing to be the first to really crack the code of sustainable fusion power.
It's a race to the future.
It really is. And, okay, this one's a little bit more down to earth, but in a moment of, I think, refreshing honesty, Elon Musk admitted that juggling all of his ventures, Tesla, SpaceX, even his involvement with Dogecoin, it's proving to be a bit of a challenge.
I can imagine. It's a lot to handle.
It's a lot. And he's also in the middle of a battle right now to secure a $56 billion pay package at Tesla.
$56 billion.
Billion, with a B. So, I guess even the world's richest man has his limits.
Apparently so.
So in this whirlwind of tech news, we've covered a lot of ground, from Apple's big redesign to the rise of AI, the push for self-driving cars, and even, a little glimpse into the future of energy with nuclear fusion. It's been a wild ride.
It has been a lot to take in. What stands out to you from all of this? What do you think all of this means for the future?
Honestly, I think the AI voice cloning thing, that's a little unsettling to me. It really highlights the need to, seriously think about the ethical implications of this technology before it really gets out of hand.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It is. It is. And I'm also fascinated by the progress being made with nuclear fusion. I mean, the idea of clean, limitless energy, that's incredibly exciting. But it also reminds us of the challenges that we face, in creating a more sustainable future. What about you? What really sticks out to you?
For me, it's the contrast between Apple's seemingly cautious approach to AI and the bolder moves that we're seeing from companies like OpenAI. It makes you wonder if Apple's playing it too safe or if they're strategically positioning themselves for a different kind of AI future.
Interesting.
Right. And like you, I'm both excited and a little bit wary of this rapid advancement in AI. It's a really powerful tool that could be used for incredible good, but it also has the potential to be misused in really dangerous ways. We need to be having these conversations now to make sure that we're shaping the future of AI in a responsible and beneficial way.
I completely agree. It's a lot to think about. But hey, that's what makes all of this so fascinating, right? The world of technology is constantly evolving, and it's up to all of us to stay informed and engaged.
Couldn't agree more. Keep those curiosity circuits firing, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. It really feels like we're at, a turning point, doesn't it? Like we're on the verge of something massive with all of this technological advancement happening.
It's a pivotal moment for sure. And speaking of turning points, maybe let's circle back to Apple for a second. Their rumored software overhaul is generating a ton of buzz, and, it'll be interesting to see how users respond to this push for visual consistency, because some might welcome the more unified experience across all their devices, but then others might prefer the distinct look and feel of each platform.
It's true. It's like that age-old debate. Do you go for a streamlined, one-size-fits-all approach, or embrace the quirks and individuality of each platform?
Tough call.
It's a tough one, yeah. But hey, they say, change is the only constant, especially in the tech world.
Oh, absolutely. And while Apple's busy with their software shakeup, Waymo's expansion into Silicon Valley, that marks another significant shift. And it's not just about the technology itself, right? It's about the potential societal impact of having all these self-driving cars on the road. Will
Mm.
they make our roads safer? Will they lead to job displacement? How will they reshape our cities and our transportation systems? It brings up so many questions.
It's like we're opening a whole new chapter in urban planning.
Right.
And not just urban planning, but like the way we live and work. Imagine a world where commuting becomes productive time. You can work, you can relax while your car is just navigating traffic for you.
It's a pretty tantalizing vision of the future.
It is.
But it also raises these questions about accessibility and equity. Will everyone be able to access and afford this technology, or will it create a divide between those who can and those who can't?
That's a really crucial point. And it kind of brings us back to that underlying theme that we keep bumping into, which is the ethical considerations of all this technological advancement that's happening. It's not enough to just invent cool new gadgets and software, right? We have to be thinking about the potential consequences, both the good and the bad,
For sure.
and really working to ensure that these technologies benefit society as a whole.
I couldn't agree more. And it's not just the responsibility of the tech companies and, the policymakers. We as users, as citizens, we all have a role to play too. We need to stay informed, we need to ask those critical questions, and we need to demand transparency and accountability from the people who are shaping the future of technology.
It's like we're all part of this giant experiment, and we need to be active participants in it, not just passive observers.
Exactly. And that brings us back to you, our listeners. What are your thoughts on all of this?
Yeah, we want to hear from you. Are you excited about all these possibilities? Are you concerned about the potential downsides? Hit us up on social media. Send us an email. Leave a comment. Whatever you want to do, let's keep this conversation going.
Because ultimately, the future of technology is shaped by all of us.
And that's what makes it so exciting and, maybe a little bit scary all at the same time. It's mind-blowing to think how much the tech landscape can shift in just a week, let alone a year.
It really is. It's a constant evolution, and that's what keeps it so engaging. We're always on the edge of the next big thing.
Speaking of the next big thing, I'm curious to see how Apple's rumored interface overhaul will impact developers.
Oh, yeah, that's a great point. A major redesign like that could mean a lot of adjustments for app developers, especially if Apple's really pushing for this, seamless visual consistency across all their platforms.
Yeah, imagine the scramble to update apps to make sure they look and feel right on the new iPhone, the new iPad, the new Mac interfaces. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out.
It is, yeah. And for users, too, right? Some might embrace the change while others, might resist. Remember when Apple got rid of the headphone jack?
Oh, yeah.
People were up in arms about it, but now it's, barely a blip on the radar.
It's true. We humans, we can be creatures of habit, but we also adapt surprisingly well.
Yeah.
Maybe this visual consistency thing will be the new normal in a few years, and we'll all wonder how we ever lived without it.
Right. Only time will tell.
Yeah.
But one thing's for sure, it's an exciting time to be following the tech world. There's so much innovation happening, so much potential for, positive change.
Now, let's not forget the potential for fun. I mean, come on. Self-driving cars, nuclear fusion, AI that can clone your voice. It's like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It really is. But it's not sci-fi, it's our reality. And it's a reality that we get to shape, explore, and discuss, right here on Byte-Sized Tech.
Well said. So, to all of our listeners out there, keep those minds open, keep those questions coming, and keep those fingers scrolling through all the latest tech news.
Because the future is being written right now, and we're all part of the story.
Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed the episode, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.